Right now, handcuffed and head down. The man accused of driving through the Waukesha Christmas parade faces a multi-million-dollar bail and the potential of another homicide charge.
Meanwhile, a far lower bail allowed Darrell Brooks to be out of jail. So what is the appropriate and fair amount?
And it's another extension for masks in Dane County. We'll tell you just how far into 2022 you'll need to keep them on. News 3 Now at 6 begins right now.
I'm an old guy who has been doing this for almost 40 years. DA's office, criminal defense attorney, 17, 18 years as a commissioner, both in Milwaukee and now in Waukesha. The nature of this offense is shocking.
That's the court commissioner's reaction to the case against 39-year-old Darrell Brooks. He's accused of killing now 6 people, including 1 child, by hitting them with his car during a Christmas parade in Waukesha on Sunday night.
So minutes ago, we learned that that child passed away at Children's Wisconsin. The hospital says it is still caring for 13 other children. 6 are still in critical condition. New court documents filed today saying 62 people were injured, many still in intensive care. In those documents, police recount the moment they saw the SUV cross parade barriers and begin to hit people. One officer saying, quote, "It was clear this was an intentional act to strike and hurt as many people as possible," end quote. In court this afternoon, Brooks spent most of the time with his head down, appearing to cry when charges were read. The prosecution argued he was a danger to the community, asking for a $5 million cash bond, and the court commissioner agreed.
It's an extraordinarily serious case with an extraordinary history of this gentleman, of fleeing, of hurting people, of not following court orders, not following criminal laws, not following just your societal norms.
Now, that incredibly high bond is a big point of discussion since Brooks was out on an extraordinarily low bond when he was accused of driving through that parade.
That low bond is now under internal investigation, and Naomi Coles takes our coverage from there.
From 1,000 to 5 million in the wake of those 6 tragic deaths and several dozen injuries. The public conversation about bail and what's acceptable after this is only beginning.
Extraordinarily high, but it's an extraordinarily big case.
Darrell Brooks' criminal record spans more than 20 years in 3 states, and most recently, domestic violence. While not all threats at home turn public, domestic violence experts say many publicly violent criminals are the same in private.
Oftentimes there is a history of domestic violence in that person's background.
This is how broken the system is. He is a serial abuser of women.
So what's the right bail? UW Associate Professor John Gross argues money shouldn't decide a person's public danger.
We know that batterers who commit domestic violence continue to do so and often escalate the violence and often kill the person that they've been abusing. So the system was comfortable releasing him, knowing all that, right? And now when he commits this inexplicably horrific act of violence, not against the women that he's been battering for years, but against the public, now there's a call to reevaluate the bail system.
In Wisconsin, judges can technically only consider their level of flight risk, not their public danger.
We really should be having a conversation about pretrial detention that doesn't involve arbitrary amounts of cash bail.
The public policy discussions are only just beginning, but domestic violence experts urge it needs to start with Brooks' past.
So what can we do collectively to interrupt that cycle, whether it's within that family or that individual's intimate partner relationship before it gets worse, or how do we interrupt it before it goes to this broader level of really community-based violence that impacts all of us?
Now, a Republican state lawmaker announced today they're trying for the 3rd time to change Wisconsin's constitution to allow judges to consider a person's public danger when setting bail.
Naomi, thank you. We are also getting a better picture today of what happened in those moments between that parade crash and Brooks' arrest. Most of those moments were caught on a Ring doorbell camera. Brady Mallory joins us with a play-by-play of what happens in this video, Brady.
This is about a half mile from the parade route. It all starts innocently enough. Brooks walks up to the door and then starts knocking. meeting and then talks with the homeowner, Daniel Ryder. Brooks says he's waiting for an Uber and that he's homeless. Ryder, who had no idea what had just happened, let a shoeless Brooks use his phone and even got him a coat and a sandwich. Ryder says the whole time Brooks had Ryder's phone, which was getting the message, shelter in place, there's a suspect on the loose.
I tell Mr. Brooks, I need my phone back. Can I have my phone? And he does. He gives me my phone. I say, give me the coat back. He gives me the coat. I go inside, lock the door, and then you'll see on those videos I sent, a minute later, he's pounding on the door saying, let me back in. I left my ID. My ID's in there. Let me back in. And I'm looking for his, I say, no, you stay out there. I'll look for your ID. And so I'm looking for his ID. And moments later, the police see him and get him in cuffs.
Yeah, shortly after Brooks showed up, police came and arrested him. At the end of the video, one of the officers asks Ryder if he knew the man. Ryder says, absolutely not. We posted the entire video on our website for you to watch. Just go to channel3000.com.
We are seeing a tremendous outpouring of support for the victims and their families in Waukesha. It's a message faith leaders don't want to see vanish, and that is why the message in downtown Waukesha tonight is do something good for others and keep doing it. Brad Hamilton is live to explain. Brad?
Well, 48 hours after this tragedy, and the city of Waukesha is still coming together to unite as one. Tonight, the Jewish Community Center of Waukesha hosted their One Community, One Heart event to honor all affected by this horrific incident. Several leaders from different religions and families from the area came to support the setting of a 12-foot menorah, which was dedicated to those impacted by Sunday's tragedy. We did get a chance to speak earlier with Levi Steen, who helped put this event together and explain why this was so important tonight.
Today is about doing something good for someone else in memory of those precious lives that we lost and in memory of all those and in honor of all those who are suffering today.
The city of Waukesha has set up a fund for the families that have been impacted by this horrific tragedy. You can make sure to check the link that's on our website, channel3000.com. Live in Waukesha tonight, Brad Hamilton, News 3 Now.
All right, Brad, thank you. The Milwaukee Brewers join the many groups raising money for the United for Waukesha Community Fund. A meet and greet with the team's players, manager Craig Counsell, broadcasters Bill Schrader, and Madison native Sophia Minert raised more than $34,000 in a couple of hours this morning. All of the proceeds were then matched by Brewers President of Baseball Operations David Stearns, and American Family Insurance, which owns the naming rights to the Brewers Stadium, is also making a direct donation of $50,000 to that community fund.
If you would like to donate to the victims and their families, we have links to multiple verified GoFundMe pages and to the United for Waukesha Community Fund on our website, channel3000.com.
Check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
A little breezy on the patio. The wind has been howling around, but those winds have been out of the south, and that's actually warmed us up. Time-lapse from the WISC Skycam shows clear skies this morning, and then you can see a few clouds coming in this afternoon. We'll see a little more cloud cover as we head through the night, but there'll also be some periods of clearing as well. But you can see nothing really showing up on Doppler track across our part of the Midwest. Last night, low temperatures were in the upper teens to around 20 degrees, a little warmer to the south and west of Madison. High temperatures mainly in the lower to middle 40s. A few places topped out near 50, including La Crosse and Boscobel. And right now, temperatures are still around 40 in Madison, in the 40s to the west of town, in the upper 30s to the east of town. These temperatures will be slow to fall. In fact, we'll look for low temperatures probably in the middle 30s this evening, and then those temperatures will hold steady overnight. That will set us up on a nice day for tomorrow. Even though we'll have cloudy skies, it'll be windy and mild with high temperatures in the lower 50s. But unfortunately, Thanksgiving won't be as mild, but it'll be dry. I'll have more in the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Dane County extending its face mask requirement through the new year, but this one comes with something new.
McKenna Alexander joins us live from downtown. And McKenna, what did Public Health tell you about their reasoning?
Well, the newest order, which starts Saturday, allows for ditching your mask in some situations. But PHMDC Director Janelle Heinrich says rising cases, especially among children, just became too high to ignore. Now, the current order was set to expire on Saturday morning, but emergency order number 5 pushes the mandate ending just after midnight on January 3rd. When it comes to a vaccination goal, Heinrich told me it's hard to pinpoint a percentage, saying the focus is getting newly eligible kids to a point where they're transmitting less of the virus, missing fewer days of school, and reaching a rate that helps drop Dane County's overall case count.
Right now, we're unable to determine what our current pace of vaccination is. I think where we want to see is having that full immunity by vaccine conferred to our youngest kiddos, and to see the impact of that on our total population.
Now, Heinrich says that we don't need to eliminate COVID in Dane County to see the end of a mask order, but we do need to get to a point that's manageable for hospitals, schools, and public health. Now, this new order is slightly different from previous requirements. Starting Saturday, people will be able to take off their masks indoors if they're surrounded by people who are fully vaccinated. Heinrich adds, anyone that's eligible to get a booster shot should do so as soon as possible.
McKenna, thank you. Coming up, some tips to prepare a Thanksgiving feast for those who cannot eat certain foods.
And fighting hunger with squash, how one company is using the gourd to help out for Thanksgiving. Stay with us.
Attention South Central Wisconsin homeowners. We're looking for 50 homeowners to participate in our home energy assessment program. Mad City Home Improvement is helping Wisconsin homeowners with rising energy costs. We'll assess your home and attic for energy loss and show you how installing eShield will give your home an energy upgrade. eShield is America's leader in energy reflective technology. Insulate your attic now. Final year to qualify for a tax credit. 50 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive 60% off installation of eShield attic insulation. No interest and no payments for 12 months. Receive a Nest Learning thermostat with eShield purchase, and we'll compensate you for your time. Call right now and you get a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call now with zip code and location to qualify, 608-588-8226, or visit madcityinsulation.com.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television.
Epic is looking to squash hunger with a food drive today by using what else but squash.
Squash hunger. Well, before they just participated with Second Harvest, but today the first time that Epic turned it into an employee event. Staff bringing in donations and in return could pick up a butternut squash and raffle tickets. 7,000 locally grown squashes were bought for that event.
So it's just a fun way, like squash hunger, bring in your donations, and also take home a memento of a squash. We have squash stickers, butternut squash, and like I said, the pumpkin bars as well.
And those pumpkin bars she mentioned were made by the local nonprofit Just Bakery in Madison. All donations will go to Second Harvest Food Bank. When you think of Thanksgiving, of course, you think of family, football, and of course, food.
But for those with celiac disease, trying to maintain a gluten-free diet during the holiday can be really difficult. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder that's triggered when you eat gluten. The reaction creates inflammation that damages the small intestine. There are many foods that have gluten, including some that you would never guess.
Shredded cheese often contains gluten because they coat it with flour so that the cheese particles don't stick. So that's just something, it's in a lot of food, so it's something you need to look out for.
Some traditional Thanksgiving items that are okay include turkey, cranberry sauce, and mashed potatoes. But be sure to check the turkey, though, to make sure no gluten was injected in it.
All right, coming up, millions will be hitting the road tomorrow for the holiday weekend. When AAA says is the best time to leave this year, and the answer may surprise you.
Plus, the numbers are out, how Wisconsin deer hunters did over opening weekend.
Plus, what do travel conditions look like for Thanksgiving? Gary will have your full forecast when we come back.
We're proudly closed Thanksgiving Day, but hurry in Wednesday to Ashley Home Store for all-day savings of up to 65% off Black Friday deals store-wide, plus 60 months no-interest financing. Happy Thanksgiving from Ashley Home Store. This is home.
My utility bills have dropped almost in half.
Madison Home Improvement is looking for 50 Wisconsin homeowners to participate in our home energy assessment program. Receive 60% off installation of eShield attic insulation. No interest and no payments for 12 months, plus a bonus, a Nest Learning thermostat with purchase. And if you call during this program, a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Zip code and location are important.
This Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. America's best-selling trucks are here and capable SUVs are rolling out. Get great offers on the Ford that's right for you, like Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV, and Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. So this Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. Now, get a 2021 Escape, Edge, or EcoSport with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 retail bonus cash.
You know what I'm going to miss most about space?
What's that?
How easy it is to keep up my saving habit. There's nothing to buy up here.
We're making it easier to save on Earth, too. When you open a savings builder account at BMO Harris, you can get a cash reward for every month you save.
Anything to help launch my savings?
Sure. When you open a checking account, we'll give you $200 to kickstart your savings progress.
$200 and a monthly savings reward.
It's a way to save that won't weigh you down. It's a little space humor.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect. After my kids left for college, the house got a bit empty, so I'm like, I'm getting a dog. I find this great deal online for a scruffy little puppy, till they hit me with a huge delivery fee. Then I remembered a tip I got from the AARP Fraud Watch Network. Insane shipping costs? This is a pet scam. I'll keep looking.
Recognize fraud sooner so your money lives longer. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
We're proudly closed Thanksgiving Day, but hurry in Wednesday to Ashley Home Store for all-day savings of up to 65% off Black Friday deals store-wide, plus 60 months no-interest financing. Happy Thanksgiving from Ashley Home Store. This is home.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
The number of deer hunted over the opening weekend is down this year compared to last. The DNR says hunters shot more than 85,000 deer. That's 14,000 fewer than last year. In Dane County, 942 deer were harvested. That is down more than 34%. Wisconsin also saw a decrease in licensed sales within the state this year.
As we've said in previous years, we talk about numbers this weekend more as a reflection of just general interest and enthusiasm for deer hunting, not unlike we talk about statistics after a Packer game because we're just enthusiastic about it. But it's too early to draw any narratives or conclusions.
Some other updates from the meeting included Wisconsin seeing an increase in non-resident license sales and 3 reported shooting incidents over the weekend, none of which were deadly.
More than 1 million people are traveling 50 miles or more this Thanksgiving week in Wisconsin. And if you haven't left home just yet, AAA is sharing the best and worst times to hit the road through our area, although this year their advice isn't exactly what you might think.
You know, there's really no best time to go. There's a best time not to go.
Another concern for drivers this holiday week, those surging gas prices, which is why President Biden announced the release of 50 million barrels of oil from the petroleum reserve today. And tonight at 10, we'll explain how soon that could lower prices for drivers here in Wisconsin. Well, let's now get to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has a full look at your Thanksgiving holiday forecast. Gary?
Well, so far it's looking pretty good. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for a mild day the day before Thanksgiving with high temperatures in the lower 50s and brisk southerly winds tomorrow. Now, Thanksgiving Day itself will turn sharply colder. High temperatures will be in the lower 30s. That'll be in the morning with temperatures holding nearly steady through the day and a brisk northwesterly wind, although skies should clear out in the afternoon. Black Friday will also be cold with high temperatures in the lower 30s, but we're looking at quiet weather, mainly dry conditions. There's an outside chance of a couple of flurries early on Thanksgiving morning. Other than that, I've got a dry forecast through Thursday of next week with the next chance of rain on Friday of next week. And that'll be in the form of rain because temperatures by then will be in the lower 40s. The average high temperature drops from 41 down to 37 degrees. Will be well above normal tomorrow, below normal for Thanksgiving and then Friday, and then near normal through the weekend. As we look at the last 5 Thanksgiving days, the last 5 years, we have not had any rain or snow, and temperatures have been in a pretty narrow range between about the mid-30s and mid-40s. We're on the lower end of the range this year, but all in all, a pretty quiet Thanksgiving. Holidays expected through much of the country, and even the days leading up to and after the holiday itself. You can see on Future Track, Wednesday, those winds out of the south. There'll be some showers developing to our south and east, but this will be after our cold front passes. So the rain for Thanksgiving will be mainly across the Ohio Valley, just south of the Ohio River down into Texas. Much of the country should be quiet for Thanksgiving Day. And then as we head into Saturday and Sunday, notice those clouds sticking around here with some sunshine mixed in as well. But really very little in the way of precipitation, even as we head through the holiday weekend. The next weather system moving into the Pacific Northwest, probably the biggest storm around. Temperatures right now in the 30s here, but just out to the west. Notice Des Moines, Iowa at 52. Omaha, Nebraska is still at 58 degrees. There's a warm front actually just west of the Mississippi River, and mild southwesterly winds aloft, continuing to bring in milder conditions for our part of the country. This will be a brief warm-up. Again, for tomorrow, we'll look for high temperatures in the lower 50s, but a couple of fronts. The warm front to our west, that'll cause temperatures to hold nearly steady overnight, but a pair of cold fronts, this one really not bringing much associated with it, but that second one has more of a punch with it, and that's what'll come in here about this time tomorrow. Shift our winds around to the northwest and start bringing in the colder weather. Temperatures right now, 30s to lower 40s across much of southern Wisconsin, but again, those temperatures will hold nearly steady overnight because winds will stay out of the south according to Future Track with partly cloudy skies. Now, during the day tomorrow, we'll see cloudy skies with those mild southwesterly winds continuing with temperatures up in the lower 50s, but you can clearly see where that cold front is by 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. Winds shift around to the northwest. We'll see some clouds, maybe a couple of flurries early on Thanksgiving morning, but then notice how skies clear out during the afternoon. The northwesterly winds, though, will continue, and that'll keep temperatures cold for Thanksgiving and for Black Friday. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 51 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, rather windy as well, but right now it looks like a dry forecast. And then again, just a slight chance for a morning flurry on Thanksgiving. High of 33, though, and that'll be early in the morning with temperatures holding steady through the day. Cold for Friday. Temperatures pretty close to normal for the weekend. A little bit above normal on Monday, a brief cool down midweek, and then toward the end of next week, that's the next chance of precipitation in the form of rain.
Wisconsin is owning the Maui Invitational out in Las Vegas, and Johnny Davis is headlining the Badgers' last 2 games. We got highlights of their semifinal game coming up next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Did you know 45% of energy loss in your home is through your roof? And with the recent spike in energy costs, you'll be stuck paying higher winter heating bills. But you can put a stop to the drafts in your attic with eShield, America's leader in energy reflective technology. Brought to you by Mad City Home Improvement, a name Wisconsin homeowners trust. We'll show you how eShield thermal reflective attic insulation will save you energy dollars. The tax credit on eShield expires this year. Be one of 50 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program. Receive 60% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. And a Nest Learning thermostat with purchase. And last chance to call in to get the Amazon gift card with estimate. Have your zip code and location ready. Call 608-588-8226, 608-588-8226, or visit madcityinsulation.com.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
When you open a jar of Better Than Bouillon, you open up dinner time to great flavor. Chicken, beef, roasted garlic, sauteed onion. With Better Than Bouillon, the possibilities are endless. Make your everything better with Better Than Bouillon. Don't just make it better.
Hey guys.
Hey Dad.
You ready?
This holiday, U.S. Cellular is doing a little something extra to keep everyone connected. Right now, choose any phone from any brand at any of our stores for free. Plus, save big with unlimited data for our best price of the season, just $30 a month. Now that's a deal to cheer about. Feel the locally grown joy from U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Kick off your Thanksgiving with a pre-feast workout for a good cause. We'll give you all the details for this year's Madison Turkey Trot and answer our question of the day for your last chance to win these.
And we continue to talk about your Thanksgiving travel. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
Wisconsin men's basketball opened the Maui Invitational with a bang. They handed Texas A&M its first loss of the season and come from behind fashion, and earning them a spot in the semifinals today with 12th ranked and unbeaten Houston. Now, Wisconsin definitely carrying yesterday's momentum into this game, especially Johnny Davis. Shooting lights out in the first half helps the Badgers build a 13-0 lead over the Cougars. Well, Wisconsin's up by 20 at halftime. Houston starts to tear into that lead in the second half. They get within 2 late in the game, but the Badgers put it away 65-63. Another career day for Davis, putting up 30 points. Next up, the championship. There's no denying it's been a tough stretch for Wisconsin men's hockey, riding a 5-game skid, and 4 of their last 5 series have been against top 15 teams. So the timing couldn't be more perfect. The Badgers return to the Kohl Center this weekend, giving them a chance to turn things around on their home ice in front of their fans. And as head coach Tony Granato puts it, it's an opportunity to get some much-needed team confidence.
I'm trying to look at this week as, again, an opportunity. When things are going well, you know, if things are all good, you just keep going and you hope you keep your momentum going. When things go bad, you have to look at it as an opportunity to realize, okay, how are we going to adjust to this? How are our players going to grow through this? So if we have to deal with it again, they're better prepared for it. So that's the way we're trying to focus on where we're at right now.
And don't forget to check out this week's Badger Blueprint with sports director Zach Hanley and Wisconsin State journalist Jim Polzing. They'll look at Wisconsin's win over Nebraska and preview Axe Week with Minnesota. That's Wednesday during News 3 Now at 10. As injuries continue to pile up for the Packers, the team's next man up motto is being heavily executed. One instance of that could be seen on Sunday at tight end. Josiah DeGuara has seen some playing time this season, but with Robert Tonyan out with a torn ACL, DeGuara is becoming more of a focal point on offense. On Sunday, DeGuara hauled in a spectacular pass from Aaron Rodgers, which was his first career touchdown.
He was relentless, and I mean, you talk about playing to the echo of the whistle. That's what you saw, and you saw toughness. Unbelievable play by Aaron. Great job, you know, escaping the pocket to his left and throwing an absolute dime to Josiah. And Josiah, for his ability to finish that catch, was big time.
Gary?
Well, skies are partly cloudy here. The winds are a little brisk, though. There's the live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. And you see temperatures right now are in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees, but these winds are out of the south. In fact, right now they're sustained about 16 miles an hour here in Madison. We're seeing some gusts up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And it'll remain windy overnight. Wind chills, as a consequence, are a little bit colder, about 10 degrees colder than the actual temperature. But again, those temperatures at least milder than normal. In fact, I'll expect them to stay pretty steady overnight, mid to upper 30s. Look for a high tomorrow of 51. But cold weather moves in for Thanksgiving Day with a high of 33 and steady temperatures. Quiet for the weekend, and then temperatures warm up a little bit next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.